everyone. So I'm going to be interviewing my friend Marley Bagley on the topic of marijuana and the legalization of such. About the legalization of marijuana in the United States so far.
Well, I know that each state is allowed to vote on its legalization and the laws for its own state, and I know it was made illegal initially because of its association with the jazz movement and immigrants, which really didn't have any evidence founded in science. And so now that the science is coming out that it could help people and do all these other things, people are thinking maybe we should legalize it. So that's about it, I guess.
Do you think marijuana use should be legal?
Well, personally, I definitely do. But not just for me, recreationally, for recreational use. I think it'd be really good for medical use. It does have a lot of purposes founded that can be scientifically proven that it helps people, as well as it would save the country. I think it was $8 billion a year or something crazy, with law enforcement and people in jail. And I think that those jail spots and that crime, effort towards preventing crime could be spent on things like rapes and homicides that, are a little bit more bad to society, I guess, than someone smoking weed.
In which states marijuana is currently legal in?
I know a few of them. I know it's currently completely legal in Colorado, Washington, and Oregon. It may just be medical there. And I know in this past election it passed medically in Arkansas, and then it's decriminalized in Washington, D.C. Or no, it was legalized in Washington, D.C. It's decriminalized in Massachusetts, and I believe many of the northern states and southern states are the ones that are kind of falling behind on the legalization.
Marijuana possession laws.
Well, in states like South Carolina and Tennessee, where I'm from, where it's all illegal, if you have under an ounce, it's a misdemeanor. And on your first offense, I believe it's a $250 fine, something like that. And then it gets up more the more times you get caught with it. And if you have over an ounce, it's a felony, and you can get trafficking felonies, and it's a lot bigger deal.
Many people think that marijuana is addictive. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, personally, I definitely don't think it is. And many of my friends that do smoke, they've never had any problems with being addictive at all. It's just kind of a choosing thing, kind of like alcohol, I guess. Somebody can choose to drink, just like somebody can choose to go smoke weed.
How do you think the legalization of marijuana would affect crime rates?
I think they'd go down a lot, more than people think they would, because that would take away a lot of the petty crime. And then I think that police could spend a lot more of their money and their time on bringing down the violent crime rate, the gang crime rate, things like that.
What do you know about medical marijuana?
I know medical marijuana is grown a bit more, I guess, scientifically than normal strains of weed, and it can be more concentrated to help certain parts of the body, for pain or for anxiety. That's really all I know about it, since it's not medically legal here.
I think it's smart to use marijuana for medical purposes.
Yeah, I think it is, because in many of the states where it is legal, they've found that people cancer patients and people with terminal diseases really do benefit from the effects of marijuana. And in that video, the recent video of the grandma smoking weed for the first time, even the grandma who was I've never smoked weed before, was oh, the pain in my neck's going away. So obviously, she has no idea what's what, and she still noticed that it helped her a bit. So I think it would help a lot of people, especially with pain things.
Do you think that marijuana could potentially be a risk to your health?
I guess the only way it could be a risk is that if you were smoking it with tobacco frequently, and then I guess the tobacco could be harmful to you. But besides that, I really don't think it can be. It doesn't have a lot of the tar and things that cigarettes do. And overall, you would have to smoke something crazy amount to OD on marijuana. So it can never really be completely harmful to you unless you decide to smoke a ton of it, or literally a ton of it.
What do you think about the fact that alcohol and tobacco are legal and marijuana is not?
I honestly think it's really stupid, frankly. Alcohol can be a lot more addictive and it causes a lot more medical issues than marijuana has ever been seen to cause, as well as tobacco. When I was 15, I decided to be cool to start smoking, and I of course stopped, but my boyfriend at the time never stopped. So he's been smoking since he was 17, and one time I was maybe we should wean you off of this, and he was no, it's not gonna happen, and it's a lot more addictive, and there are a lot more harmful things that go along with it. So I think if those are gonna be legal, marijuana should definitely be legal because of the benefits that it offers that neither alcohol nor tobacco offer.
All right. Well, thanks, Marley.